She's gonna go down, watching with the AW
position. Earthshaker's moving in as well. Echo Slam connects on it too. Back row fire down as well.
Red always wins the brawl. Or can we cast the curse it? Oh, there we go.
Loot bet.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back, all you fine and dandy and wonderful people out there in the Dota 2 world. We are getting ready to hop into our 8th day of the BTS Pro Series action, continuing on the coverage here, and we got a great game coming up for you all. It's TNC Predator facing off against Reality Rift. Let me hit a couple magical buttons here as we're getting ready to go into this game number 1 of this series. Actually, let's just go right into the draft because we got one right in front of us. But we've got another great day for all you fine folks out there. Want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Of course, the wonderful folks on over at Monster, keeping us energized through these late evenings. And then the other wonderful folks, the official betting sponsor of the BTS Pro Series, Loot.bet. And man, Neil, we're here. We're on our final day. It's happened.
Well, our final day, but not the final day. Our final day. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, it's also one of the few days that I'll actually be not surprised if it actually goes to a 3-game series on both of our series, because for the most part, I've had a clear favorite in the past 2 or 3 days. I think on day 1, I also thought it was likely that there would be a 3-game series, but for the rest of it, I was expecting not necessarily blowouts, but again, favorites. Right. And for the most part, every single time that you gave me the betting odds, it seemed that there was a team with a pretty healthy lead. But now I'm expecting that things are going to be much closer. It's TNC versus Reality Rift for this first series. It's difficult for me to come up with a clear winner. Historically, I would go with TNC, but based off of recent performance, I would not be surprised to see Reality Rift bring them to 3 games. And then for the next one, Boom versus T1, neither of them are looking particularly great, which means that they should be a good match for one another.
Yeah, talking about those odds, just pulled them up right there. It's about a 2-to-1-ish type of situation, but it's pretty close. If you look at the group stage as a whole, we were looking at that for a while on that little overlay screen. But right now, TNC is 3rd, and Reality Rift is 6th. Now, normally that's oh man, big deal, but it's 2-to-1 for TNC and 1-to-2 for Reality Rift. There's a lot of craziness going on to the middle, all the way down almost to the bottom of the round robin group stage we got going on right here. The only thing that we know for sure is that, man, CR is hurting. They are 1-10 so far. So still a lot of things to keep our eyes on. It should also be noted that for TNC at least, they have won against Geek Fam. They've won against CR. They lost against Boom, as my man is he's just smooth running away there. He realized that his lighting was a little bit too bright and he had to just make sure he looks pretty. And then he didn't push to talk. Wow.
I was looking pale. I was looking mighty pale. I was not in flattering light. Now I'm looking a little bit better, I guess. This is better. I mean, it sounds less hot spots, but now it's there's a clear gradient.
It's beautiful.
But it's okay. Thank you.
Big thing that I was going to say is that they've both played Boom. Reality Rift played Boom. TNC lost to Boom. And then they've played other people outside of it. So I'm actually feeling like Reality Rift's the stronger team here. They have lost the people they're supposed to lose to, but then the person that they played against the same is Boom. Granted, that's not always an easy one-to-one comparison.
Yeah, and also seeing as how it's all intra-regional performances, it's difficult to say that one team may just consistently have an advantage over another based off of player history and player knowledge. Or maybe they were just off on drafting one day, because as we're going into this draft, I'm seeing 2 heroes that I'm not used to seeing very much. Underlord picked up for TNC, which I think this is the 2nd time that I've seen it out of the 5 days that you and I have casted together. And so that hero is not popular. And Spearbreaker, the only time I saw this hero was whenever Fnatic kind of memed it up and won with it, but still, it was Fnatic kind of memeing. And both teams are picking these heroes, and pretty serious game right now in this game one.
No, absolutely. This is really an important one. I mean, you're looking like if you're TNC, you're feeling okay. I'm in third. That's fine, but you still have to play against Detroit, and you still have to play against Fnatic. Like those are some big teams that they're gonna have to go up against later on. You can't take anything for granted at this stage of the game. I will say that for TNC, we have seen this bounty hunter come out from them before. They did it with the bounty hunter, and then an alchemist was their last pick, if I'm not mistaken. March playing on the position 5 bounty hunter, which was pretty hype. You remember he kept on killing couriers and stuff? It was awesome.
Yeah, he just posted up 2 sentry wards over there and was just relentlessly targeting them, which it seems like a okay place to put this bounty hunter right now. I'm typically seeing Silencer be played in the mid, which is also another hero that I don't think you and I have seen at all so far in this tournament. But he is a terrifyingly... Oh, you did on the first day. Well, you and I, not you and Danog.
That's fair.
Okay. But did you see it mid?
It was mid, and it was also an answer to one of these, as we see Reality Rift actually take away an Alk or just pick it for themselves. It was an answer to a defensive hero like the Shadow Demon. So you initiate on somebody else, you take them out, and I think that it was an answer to like a position 4 Weaver. It was an awful game for it. But regardless, it's this idea of like you jump on one of these heroes that normally can just rely upon getting saved, and that's not the case with Shadow Demon. Like, what are you going to build into that takes global silence off? There's nothing really that you want to have to build into on that hero. So that's something that they're going to have to deal with on Reality Rift, is that hard initiation and then no save. Although right now they don't really have the hardest initiation. It's like Pit of Malice. What the hell?
Yeah. And they can't really afford to be purely defensive with the Silencer ulti, because now you're up against an Alchemist, which I think is a very, very solid Alchemist pick, because primarily, like you said, there is no hard initiation. And even the one hero that they do have initiation with, which will have to be their last pick, is going to be their 1 position. And so you usually don't want to have your 1 position to be the primary initiator. And it's looking like it'll be a melee hero, as TNC Predator are banning out a Razor as their last ban. So you want to pick someone who's going to be laning against Timbersaw, Slark's band, Monkey King's band. Wow. Rift kind of have TNC in a little bit of a corner here, I feel.
Yeah. I'm not sure. They take out the Meepo themselves. Wonder if they go like... I actually have no idea. Yeah, it's really a tough matchup so far.
Who do they pick to lane against a Timbersaw who can also, I don't know, be a team fight initiator? Because they don't even really have that strong push that TNC can be like, oh, okay, we don't need to take team fights. You know, if we group up and we start taking towers, then you're going to have to start a fight, and we're just going to global the fight and stop it as soon as it does start. But they don't have anyone who can push. Silencer does eventually start dealing like a lot of damage. Not necessarily to towers, but to heroes. So he's kind of snowballing in that regard. So I'm not too concerned about TNC's damage output. But in terms of their initiating capabilities and in terms of their, I don't know, their carry matchups, things are not looking great.
No, which is interesting because it's Reality Rift. They're taking a long time with this last pick. And you would have thought with that Alk, maybe it was, again, they had seen the Bounty Hunter played with the Alk before, and then they just wanted to deny pick it or something. I don't know how much of a threat this really is. If you're able to, like, I think the only way that TNC wins this is if they, like, super duper stomp the lanes, which is something that they're capable of doing with some of these heroes. So maybe Reality Rift are trying to just take something that shores up their lanes.
Wind Ranger at your service.
It's a decent laner.
Hero? A decent laner, but decent hero, question mark? Let's see. Let me pull up these statistics.
Don't let the recent infusion of Slack's tweets infect your brain. You know?
Oh, so actually I had there was a great Wind Ranger tweet.
Yeah.
But it was like 80% a tweet that he had already made.
Oh no.
And so I was like, damn it, I can't use that one, because there have been many that I'm like there's this point that I'll see a quality tweet in the list of Deep Slack's tweets. And I'm like, oh my God, this is such a good tweet. And then I'll have to compare it against the existing list. And whenever it's not on the list, I'm like, oh my God, how did a robot come up with this? It's so good.
Yeah.
Like the one that I posted today, whatever is like the advice to Dota 2 streamers, because it looks like a real tweet.
Oh, it's so good. I could not stop laughing. My wife had no idea what was going on. Oh, it was A+.
All right. So I don't need to be infected by that because the real statistics are just as depressing for her. She has only been picked once, and it was by evil geniuses, and they lost. Oh no, never mind. Okay. So it was by evil geniuses. Arteezy played it, and they beat Furia with it. Which is
that's fine.
Interesting. Yeah, it's fine. KYXY is going to be playing it, but it says Arteezy played it in like the off lane and a tri lane. Man, that was a weird game. I seems very weird, but yeah, Arteezy played Windranger. They won with it, and it has a 1 game sample size in this tournament. Don't know about ESL, but it's not even worth bothering checking about that now. And Armel is going to be taking the Ember Spirit as the final pick for TNC. So it does shore up some of their initiating capabilities, but their push is still atrocious. I don't know how you take towers as TNC.
I don't really either. I think just kill them all is probably the play. There are some nice things that you can do with Underlord, obviously, where if you're, pressuring down a lane and trying to take a tower and things get a little bit dicey, you can just, ulti out of there. And that's like a good way to, you think about how many times we've seen teams like, force somebody back and then they just back out and then they get caught because they can't de-initiate as quickly as they would want otherwise. So like that feels to me like it's a nice piece of it for KP. Gabby playing safe lane silencer to me is very interesting. Because it means that they want the matchup of Ember against Alk. That's what that tells me, is like maybe they to me I would have thought that Silencer would have been more of a lane bully than the Alk, but maybe the idea is you just like out CS the Alk early on or something. I'm not sure. I'm really curious what the idea is there.
Let me see the lanes first, because things may be bouncing around quite a bit, but
prepare for battle.
I'll agree with you once that matchup starts to evolve. All right, so Hustler, KYXY, and Nuts going down here bot right now. Drew is probably going to be solo versus KP. It's going to be like tri-lane v tri-lane or something.
I imagine they're just going to do maybe they do that. Yeah, it's a really good matchup against the Underlord. Maybe KP can just cut behind the wave over here or something.
Yeah. And no support from TNC can really help against that.
Walking up to high ground here. It's going to try and take the outpost. Moving in with the invis. The full wraparound comes out. Hustler not able to be blocked off, but actually forced to take the bulldoze level 1. I don't know if that's going to end up working for him. Even I think he still goes down here. Another sleight of fist in a second. If they can find the range, chasing forward for Gabby, trying to kill him off. I mean, Hustler doesn't have anywhere left to go now, and they have another scatter blast. And
he just burns through. He burns through 3 tangos, bro.
Oh wow!
That's not gonna happen.
Very bizarre. So KP in the meantime gonna try and battle for these bounties here. Doesn't look like he's gonna be able to get it.
Ooh, KYXY also gets it off of March's Bounty Hunter as well.
Wow, is that all 3? That's all 4 going to the Alchemist. That's crazy.
All right, tactical Spear Breaker feed, my man. He now walks out of the base with 6 tangos. So, what a masterful play by Hustler's Spear Breaker.
Dude, but now he just bulldoze. I mean,
dude, who gives a shit? Your Alchemist got 4 bounty runes. 4 bounty runes. What's the net worth at? Oh wait, what? How's the net worth so even?
Did he not skill it up? Dude, did he not skill it up? I checked on it afterwards. I think he didn't skill it up. There's no other explanation for that, right?
There's no other explanation. There's no way an Ember Spirit should have a higher net worth than an Alchemist who got 4 bounty runes.
Dude, Alacrity, I am like 1,000% sure that happened. We're gonna have to go and check. God, can you leave the game and go like look at the lobby? Like, or somebody in Twitch chat, go look at the lobby and let us know. Spread the news. Go back in time. You can look back through it if you're watching in game and just tell us, because I think that's what happened.
Yeah. Go at Tsunami or Lyrical Dota and in the chat and see if that's what happened. Because man, imagine going through all that effort And then you don't even get the benefit. I mean, it's still nice. It's still nice to get 4 bounty runes and the enemy gets 0, but
yeah,
I can't believe you wouldn't skill up Greevil's Greed first.
I've seen it happen before. When the change happened, it was actually an NA Dota of all places. And it was the
What do you mean of all places? That's
right.
the first place I would have guessed.
Yeah, it was High Councils of Wizards and Priests. It was it was Greg's team way back when. And it was with Jimmy and Justin and
dude, how do you
people.
remember this? This is encyclopedic levels of knowledge. That's incredible.
It's very memorable. I'm gonna remember this for alacrity. You know, this is one of those things that happens. Oh, well, I mean, can you imagine if it actually wasn't? We've just been talking shit this whole time. Sorry, man. I'll be on us if it's true, but I don't think.
Well,
it
at least
is.
we got that great anecdote though, as a result.
True enough.
There's history of it occurring.
Right. So the other thing that I wanted to mention is like maybe a reason why you would swap it up for the silencer. I remember seeing the silencer mid, and I had forgotten as we see March already laying waste to these couriers. Silencer got roamed on mid over and over and over and over and over again, and he just died, and then they were in like a much worse position than they otherwise would have been. Harder to do that against Armel Ember Spirit if you can like sleight of fist dodge stuff.
Yeah, but Reality Rift also don't really have anyone capable of roaming. Like, a Shadow Demon rotation is not that scary for a Silencer. Wind Ranger is not going to be rotating. Spear Breaker could charge, but Alchemist can't really take advantage of a Spear Breaker charge in the mid lane, so I don't really think you need a more defensive mid laner, because I do agree that Ember Spirit would be more protected, but I also don't think he needs to be more protected. Okay. However, I will say that I think Armel with a level advantage can bully a Alchemist who's kind of farming his jungle a little bit more than a Silencer who's farmed up, as now Cookie lands onto the Wind Ranger.
KYXY goes down. Hustler. Oh, and now finding a little bit of a bash for himself. Trying to get aggro here onto Tim's. Can they get the kill? Ooh. Not quite going to be there. The creep's trying to clean up, but it didn't end up happening. So Snapfire makes it work. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Well, Silencer's already off to a roaring start. Oh. And March establishing vision control in the jungle. Yeah, so I think this is the idea, is that they just want Ember Spirit to follow around the Alchemist.
Yeah.
And now KP.
You two will die. This is the danger of going up against the Timbersaw. It is 3 heroes up here. I guess they're just like giving up on bottom lane. Like, KYXY, you're on your own, buddy. As they kill off Alchemist. March rotating in with a little bit of help from the Snapfire, and they managed to find that kill on the mid-alch.
Wow, he didn't even cookie for that. He just straight up got a Scatter Blast into Armel damage. Sweet. That's a great kill.
Yep.
And Gabby getting charged and shackled, but it'll be fun.
Well, yeah, saves the cookie for afterwards when the charge eventually comes. All according to plan. Hustler so far, being able to at least get a little bit of pressure around the maps, and they find that kill onto KP up top. And you can see so far this Timbersaw super happy with his laning phase. Level 5, drawing some aggro over, and is trying to battle for the bounty runes. And it looks like RR again gonna get a hell of a lot of them. That's pretty great. 3 for 1. Good start.
I'm trying to read the chat. Are we like he first blood Alk had
the Ember first blood? Would that have made up the difference?
What do you mean, the Ember first blood?
Well, if Ember first blooded, I mean, it doesn't matter now. The bounty rune situation is already over, but I think that what the point would be is that they would have been on equal net worth because they had first blooded.
Could be worse.
That is true. That would make sense.
Yeah. Is KYXY dead? I still got a salve as well as a stick. Well, it turns out that I was right. Imagine if we would have been wrong about that, talking about it for so long.
Boy, that would have been controversial.
As it's bound to happen over and over. Alacrity, in the meantime, after getting 7 of those bounty runes, they're going to move on in and take down the kill on the Shadow Demon. This is, well, charge comes through. Armel's still able to find the kill. And Alacrity, in the meantime, Chase gets the salve broken. Can they kill him off? The Remnant Ford able to find another finish, Armel. So when they go on in to take down these stacks, they're going to be able to steal it away on TNC as well. So a great start for them. Damn.
Yeah, and this now a whole bunch of, oh my gosh, yeah, they're taking this entire stack.
What is happening? They're all coming in for it. They're like, we can't give it away. Armel, the absolute thief here, trying to finish it off in time. Even if they die at this point, I think you're kind of okay with that, denying the goal. Maybe not. This is a lot of death. TNC lose 3 heroes up in the jungle, but they take the whole stack.
Is under attack.
Yeah, and Underlord kind of joining in. Well, actually, Underlord's also relatively low net worth, so the most important heroes being the Ember Spirit and the Silencer are still continuing to farm, and Armel doesn't die. He gets his bottle refilled. They still have vision control inside of the dire jungle because this Radiant Ward is not going to get countered anytime soon, so not that bad, TBH. It's just that I don't really know what you're going to do if you slow down an Alchemist, because again, you can't push towers. So right. Even if you slow down this Alchemist quite a bit, he's eventually going to make his way to Radiance. And at what point do you start trying to take actual objectives and not just contest like neutral camp objectives?
Yeah. No, it's true. That's the big issue, is going to be trying to finish off those towers one by one. In fact, it's Drew that's going to be able to get more of the damage onto this top tier one just by virtue of being an a Timbersaw up against an Underlord. I've played this matchup so many times, it's like frustrating. You just can't do anything, it feels like. We'll be able to throw out the Firestorm in a second. In the meantime, Ember already finishing off Treads and an Urn, so he's going to be going for a Spirit Vessel soon. As Armel picks up an Illusion Rune, chasing in, trying to find Hustla. Wants to get a couple of charges as the cookie comes through, and Hustla going to die. So TNC not taking their foot off the gas at all. They're playing with a lot of pace at the very least.
Yeah, and they're creating a world of space for Gabby Silencer as well, who hasn't even bothered to skill up Global. He's about to hit level 8. I wonder if he's just going to take another point in Curse, or if he'll finally take... Okay, he finally takes Global.
Armel's over here. You've got the freaking Snapfire that's backed by enemy lines. They got to get the hell out of here. Tim's is going to go down. The charge is coming through onto Armel. Can he slight dodge it? Didn't have it off of cooldown as he gets the Remnant away. I mean, look at how many heroes, all 5 heroes from Reality Rift are in the jungle. Like, they have to protect Alk, and I think that this Ember pick has been solid for coming to try and disrupt his farming patterns.
But he's still maintaining a relatively close net worth to Ember Spirit, so he's getting a bunch of camp stolen, and he's a very, very long way away from Radiance, so this is not going to be like the 12-minute Radiance that we're used to seeing from free farming Alchemists. This is going to be more on track for like a 18-minute Radiance, which is not great, but I still am very, very curious to see what a free farming Silencer is going to be able to do to challenge that.
KP.
They're going in again?
Yeah, well, they get the kill up there. KP takes him down. Nice timing there, waiting, and the Underlord ulti just took a little bit too long before it sent him back home. So Drew is definitely the shining light in this game. Obviously, Alchemist is having a pretty good time as well to some extent, as he's the second highest net worth in the game. Would have loved to see it higher, but getting that kill there, or at least the assist, is Armel. Again, it's just running through like a madman. What's this guy doing? Shackle lands after the Remnant, and Armel tries to escape. Remnant's away afterwards, throws another one, just trying to get out of there. I mean, this dude's got a freaking... This President Alacrity has the bodyguards all around him. As, he missed the chains, and also going to miss now the regen rune. This game is all kinds of wacky. Is he just dead?
Him into Timbersaw.
Oh, Hustler pops the salve and gets the walk away. They have a charge if they want it. Chain forward, kills him off. Dude, Hustler playing beautifully.
Yeah, Hustler played great, but Armel should not have been standing like that close to the trees, because the only way he dies is if that last bit of Timber Chain damage comes in. He should have been hugging the river a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And that last invasion, finally Ember Spirit not only dies, but he also does basically nothing to contest the Alchemist. He popped in, got shackled, immediately had to leave. So not only are like Ember Spirit is not going to be able to keep doing this. Alacrity is out farming him now. Now Timbersaw is actually freaking 6.2k net worth himself. So I wish that they had like a better hero to take advantage of all this space, but it's a Silencer.
Right. Yeah, what's he really going to be able to do in this game? I mean, we're going to have to wait and find out, but
Radiant's bottom tower
if past precedent is anything to go by, it's going to be a hard game for TNC to win unless they can just kind of keep this sort of chaotic spree of energy going and make up, you know, the detriments that they're going to have in net worth by bounty hunter track kills. Like, that to me feels like it's the only thing that they can really do is make this game chaotic by TNC and try and get track kill after track kill, and then you can maybe keep up in like some kind of net worth with alacrity, but it's going to be hard.
Yeah, because they can't even maintain control of the dire jungle now. Shadow Demon has been able to participate in a fair amount of kills. He's 2-1 and 3, and so he's got money to burn on sentry wards. They've fully dewarded the jungle now. Let's see if March is going to be able to... Oh, that sentry ward's not going to last.
Yeah. Places it down.
And they're getting stacks off. Yeah.
It should signal to him that he was right on where the observer wards were at. Nuts is going to deward a sentry right here. Meanwhile, some more pressure onto this tier 1 tower up top, but 12 minutes in, it's like decent damage on these towers, but none of them have fallen yet. So not really able to control that Alk's farming patterns. And he's got the relic done. He's almost got this Radiance done.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
March.
tough. Well, he gets the observer, loses the sentry, can't get that ulti off, and there's the dust, and now March is in a lot of trouble. As the Timbersaw moves on in, KYXY will go down bottom side. So they're able to pick up a return kill, but no track kill.
Yeah, and Wind Ranger isn't quite as critical. I am waiting to see what the advantage of the Wind Ranger was. Maybe... I think they were probably expecting it to be a safe lane Ember, so maybe they thought that Wind Ranger could abuse a safe lane Ember quite a bit.
Right.
But right now, just in general, she's really good at keeping waves pushed with power shot. It's already a maxed out power shot, and they already have pushing issues right now, as we can see Armel trying to take down these towers. Like you said, they're all these mid tier 1 or all the tier 1 towers are low, but none of them are dead yet, and that means that Alchemist is still well on his way to his Radiance.
Yeah, it's coming out to him right now, actually, on the courier. And this timing, I mean, like we've said, it's not the fastest in the world, but it's going to do the job. Like,
That's still way better than I was expecting.
Yeah. You're still... Do you have the Spirit Vessel done yet for Armel? Looks like it just now is completed. So this is a great timing for them. If they can kill the Alk a couple of times right when he's getting his Radiance, this is going to be the most vulnerable he'll be for probably a while. But Alacrity is back and hiding off. We'll see if the smoke is going to connect to him or not.
The only problem is Drew has completed a Lotus Orb, and so he doesn't even need to use that for himself to take off the Global Silence, which is, I imagine, what the primary purpose is. But if they're brawling early on in this jungle, he can just put it on top of the Alk and dispel that Spirit Vessel.
All right, Nuts in some trouble. Cookie not going to land onto that Spirit Breaker, but they do find one track kill. There's going to be the latch. As Global Silence comes out, okay, decent way for this fight to continue on. Can they find any more kills? Drew down low is gonna die. They take down another one. KYXY also going down. We said great timing right here from TNC if they can find the fight, and they did. Oh, look at this move. Yeah, Hustler's realizing I am not in a safe place and is gonna TP out. So can they get any towers afterwards? Looks like they're gonna try and take top.
They can take top. They should be able to take mid as well. Alchemist isn't going to defend that. And they also got a bunch of Spirit Vessel charges. Ember Spirit ends up with 3 Spirit Vessel charges after that engagement. And it was right at 15 minutes. And so they should be able to take 3 of the bounty runes. It doesn't look like March is going to get that. Oh, wait, he did. Okay. So, yeah, 3 of the bounty runes are going to go the way of Radiant. So, great timing for that TNC fight. And taking 2 big objectives. Again, it's in a post-Radiance world, so it's not as dramatic for the Alchemist, but they still need to keep going pedal to the metal if they want to win this game.
Yeah, and you can see Alchemist did have that Blink Dagger queued up. It looks like he might be going back for the Manta instead to try and be that answer for both the Global Silence and the Spirit Vessel that's online. If you're TNC, this is the right move. You kind of just have to keep this pressure going. You can't afford to take your foot off the gas, or the game is going to spiral out of control. The Atos for Underlord is kind of a nice little touch as well. Gives them a little bit more fighting potential. As Tim spots the Spirit Breaker, they back out.
Drew.
Oh, Cookie off the mark, and now March kind of far out is going to get punished, killed off by the Chakram. Lotus Orb takes off the track. They get a disruption there for the moment. Alacrity goes in, stun. Well, it lands, and they've got him under control. Armel in a little bit of trouble, is going to go down. Snapfire ultimate does not look like it's enough to kill off Alacrity. It might be enough for KYXY, as he eventually almost burns down to that one and will die. But on the top side here, Drew ready to run in, make some mischief happen. KP doesn't have another Pit of Malice for another 2 seconds. See if he can buy a little bit of extra space for his team here. Throws it down, hits onto 3. Global afterwards, but where's the damage? With Ember Spirit still dead, there is not all that much trying to find the kill, and March able actually to get 2 of them. So he gets it done with the Shuriken toss, a little bit of extra help, and maybe finally they've been able to do it. Do they have enough to kill off this Alchemist? Alacrity, the last one left alive, this slow burn down coming from the Radiance is going to be enough. A double kill from KP. They got it at the last second.
Well, KP is so difficult for Reality Rift to kill. They dedicated a whole bunch of energy. They did successfully kill off the Silencer, which is, I imagine, the main reason why Hustla bought back on his Spirit Breaker was just they wanted to finish off that Silencer. But it's the whole Atrophy aura and KP's just presence, despite not having any auras. He's working his way to the pipe right now, and eventually, or the hood right now, and eventually the pipe. But him just being very, very tanky and constantly being able to get this pit and rod, like, there aren't enough dispels yet on Reality Rift. There's only the Lotus and the Chemical Rage activation from Alchemist. Beyond that, like, they're going to get rooted multiple times, they're going to get silenced multiple times, and they have no ways of taking that off. So until we start getting, like, I don't know what KYXY is just building damage. Actually, he's not even worrying about utility, so he's just going to try to kill people. Spirit Breaker also is just looking for, I guess, damage mitigation. He's going to be going for the urn. I'm surprised there are no Greaves coming out on Reality Rift. I feel like Greaves could go a long way at both dispelling things and keeping their teammates alive, because they have tanky teammates. Timbersaw is quite tanky, Alacrity on the Alchemist is quite tanky, Spirit Breaker is quite tanky, but there's just too much drawn out damage and not enough heals on the sides of Reality Rift right now.
Yeah, it's a really interesting game in a way, right? Because it's like 2 different versions of Greed. This Bounty Hunter is, well, they will get the disruption for the moment on to KP. The latch is going to be there. Demonic Purge afterwards. This is a whole hell of a lot of damage, and they are going to lose KP. Now Gabby kind of in on him, as Armel also is. They take down KYXY. Drew kind of out of position, misses the Timber Chain actually. And now with the Mortimer's Kisses coming in, global silence afterwards. Armel thinking about going back in, gets the chains there onto the Alchemist, left all alone with the Spirit Vessel.
No.
He's dead. Oh no, the save. Nuts able to get him last second. Is it going to be enough though? Cookie puts the kibosh onto that one, as Nuts is going to go down. And I don't know why Reality Rift keep taking these fights before Manta. Like, he is 400 gold away. Like, did you need to go in right there? I don't know.
Yeah, because killing off the Underlord was great, but them continuing to pursue going down to the low ground to finish off other targets was wildly unnecessary. And Drew kind of misplayed, because as soon as Silencer activated the global, Alchemist was in the middle of channeling an unstable concoction, and so it was like down to 2 seconds, and then Drew ends up putting the Lotus Orb on himself and then not chaining anywhere. And so if he was able to put that on the Alchemist, Alchemist may have been able to chuck out that concoction, and either they would have retreated or maybe they would have been able to get some kills. But instead, Alchemist goes down again pre-Manta style, which also sucks if they can't get bounty runes as well.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, again, it's like I just have this feeling, and maybe this is the NA Dota in me, that if everybody just took a little bit of time to hit some creeps, everything would be okay for Reality
not
Rift.
everybody. You know, for Reality Rift, yeah. If Reality Rift took some time to hit some creeps, it'd be great. If TNC took any time, then that would be disastrous. And it doesn't seem like they're going to be hitting creeps anytime soon, as, again, everyone, it's just combat oriented, left, right, and center.
Yeah, and I guess that, again, you've got like this sort of interesting timing that's going to hit where it feels like Reality Rift should almost be unstoppable. But you look at all of these heroes, and if you start getting like a lot of net worth on some of these supports, it could be scary. It's no joke, Reality Rift, as they get more gold. And they're doing it because they keep on taking these fights in sort of weird, chaotic ways. Snapfire is going to Aghanim Scepter. Let's go.
Oh, nice.
pretty cool.
I guess grabbing the Underlord. I don't really think Ember Spirit wants to get chucked in there because they have like a lot of stuns on Reality Rift, and so and the Demonic Purge, and so he can't easily get out. But if you chuck an Underlord in there, I think that'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, or just like keeping somebody alive with it, you know, defensive.
Oh yeah,
Aghanim's
also
either.
true.
Like, any of those would be pretty cool.
Smoke on Dire.
They've got the Manta now, so the spells are available. So global is going to be much less important than it used to be. Granted, still scary. Armel's just freely hitting this tier 2 tower. But it looks like Reality Rift, the ones that, you know, are looking for a fight, spoiling for one around this mid tier 1 tower. They want to try to take this down themselves and just farm out the map a little bit more.
And Radiant activate Glyph. Dire don't use their Glyph. And Radiant, I mean, it was just the top tier 2 taking a little bit of damage, or maybe they wanted to keep the Siege Creep alive bot, but they won't have that Glyph now. And, oh, KP catches the Spirit Breaker charging from across the map.
Yeah, and a lot of gold about ready to go into their coffers if they can get this kill onto Hustla. Does have a charge back up in a second, but going to die. And another track kill into TNC. Are they trying to take Roche now?
Oh, interesting. They have a Solar Crest, so this is actually not too difficult. They don't have a great Roche team typically, but Solar Crest is such a not popular item these days, but it's going to work very, very well in this situation.
Creating some illusions, I guess, to see if they can get a bait out here. March throws that track onto the Wind Rager. Should realize that that's not the real one now. Drew, Atos, takes it off afterwards. Still Roche very low here. And the Spirit Breaker's charging through. This would be a really good timing for them if they can make it happen.
And they see that smoke.
Yeah, this is scary. They cancel the charge, though, and ready to take this fight if they step up onto high ground. TNC trying to go for the wraparound. Nobody's over here on this side, though. Are they going to spot him in time? I mean, they're running to Drew right at the get-go. Again, rooted. The Lotus Orb has already come out, trying to stack up some int right now from Gabby. Shackle's not going to latch. Alacrity has already popped his ultimate. A lot of damage there onto this freaking Timbersaw. And Cable X-Ray just trying to run away. Global comes out. Drew barely able to get off that Greaves towards the end. Rooted down onto 2. They've already lost both of them. And now going to try and go for the ulti out. KP, is he going to be able to get out? He is. Gabby lived through that one, but now they're kind of all left alone. Gabby TPs, or rather is going to tip KP in thankfulness for what he did, as Armel has a triple kill, and the only one left alive is Alacrity.
Dude, this Timbersaw is so squishy. I don't know how he took so much damage. That's crazy, because he has 2 sources of Dispel now, so he should be able to take off any potential Spirit Vessels that are put on him, and he should be able to take off the Roots, which is what we were using, what we're seeing the Lotus Orb be usually used for, but it seemed like it was just some casual right clicks from Silencer, and they just completely destroyed the Timbersaw. Granted, it is pure damage, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ton of pure damage. It's really hard to deal with. The other thing that, you know, people haven't really talked about a ton is that spell amplification increases the int to damage ratio on Glaives of Wisdom. So every bit of spell amp that you get actually increases your damage potential so much on Silencer. And just having that like Vambrace and a null tally, it makes a kind of big difference. Now they're holding on to Aegis on Silencer and looking to try and take down these outer tier 2 towers. Again, this is the way that you play this draft if you're TNC. It's been, what now, 41 kills in 25 minutes? That favors Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as, again, the name of the game is objectives, so they managed to successfully do a lot of tier 2 damage down to the bot tower, which, again, I'm guessing that's why they used the glyph, just because every single bit of tower damage is so valuable to them that it doesn't really matter to them to use the glyph defensively, because if their towers are getting sieged, they're not in a position to defend them anyway. What they need is to kill all of the enemy towers as quickly as possible, so they're taking this top tier 2, and they need to continue taking all the other objectives with this Aegis in hand, and all TP to the tier 2 mid.
Getting ready to fight round 2 of this one. Gabby is there, up front and center, shadow bladed, spotting Alacrity, trying to lay out the right clicks. He has his BKB, decides to pop it finally. Armel pops his own BKB, doing absolutely nothing as they try and take down the rest of these cores. Global silence comes afterwards. Armel, he's silenced in the duration of this, and KYXY just can't do anything.
Nice.
Dude looked like he DC'd.
Yeah, he wasn't even rooted. What the heck?
And
He was
now,
just standing there.
as you see Shadow Demon maybe in some more trouble, can they kill off Gabby? They want to take him down, and they will, but it's only the Aegis. Do they have a round 2 to this madhouse of a game? Lackady throws out the stun onto Gabby, will be able to connect onto him. He's invis, but getting pulled away by KP yet again. Dude, #1 taxi service. KP gets him out, and Tim's in the meantime is being chased here, but they're not going to be able to get this kill. Drew can't do it.
Dude, the team fight execution on TNC, they're getting out on like a razor margin, and it's working out. This time, they do not manage to kill off the Alchemist, though, but that was also the 10-second BKB, or no, sorry, the 9-second BKB from Alchemist. So, heavy commitment, and Gabby yet again gets out, yet again gets more permanent int, and I don't know what Wind Ranger was doing.
Yeah.
I'm like 99% sure that KYXO was not rooted by anything, but as we've already seen from the beginning of this game, I have a tendency to be wrong about things. So I'm not 100% sure, because his damage is very important. He has an MKB.
Right.
And he, like I said, he did not go for utility at all. He is going for pure damage. He's going for pure combat. And that's going to be critical if they want to be able to kill off this freaking massive damage dealing silencer of Gabby.
I mean, the thing that's I think is really important, like, about the silencer carry, right, is that if he's left to do whatever he wants, he's terrifying. He does so much damage, but the reason that this doesn't often work is because you need heroes to get on top of them. They have a Spear Breaker, they have a Timber Saw, they've got an Alchemist, now with the BKB. Like, I don't understand how Gabby is not dying in these fights.
I know.
It's insanity. He also has a Silver Edge now. But yeah, this is like the hero that you're supposed to be able to blow up right at the start. And I guess some of it is, you know, the positioning of Gabby and just some really clutch saves at the last minute by KP.
Yeah. And now they are continuing to take objectives, despite that Aegis being off of Gabby. Take the bottom tier 2 basically uncontested. And now an Invis Armel and a Shadow Walking Bounty Hunter may be able to find someone, as there is a lot of Radiant Vision seeing these dire heroes right now.
They ping it out. They realize that Timbersaw went back. They are trying to look for an opening onto these heroes. And Armel, with this Invis rune, looks towards Alacrity, but they're not going to be able to find an opening. It doesn't look like, as they do sort of a, well, maybe. Nuts. He doesn't have anywhere left to go. He's in some trouble. Cookie, well, you know, you can't get them all. Shackle's going to land there onto Armel. This is an okay fight, but the rest of them aren't here yet. The big 4-person charge coming through with the stun afterwards. KP actually cancels the ultimate. They make the decision they want to fight, or maybe it was a misclick, but whatever the case is, that was not the way it's supposed to go. March is also going to go down now as Reality Rift find their footing and able to take that fight. I have to think that was a misclick.
Yeah, that's a really tough call. Maybe they thought that Silencer would be able to get Global off.
Yeah, that could be.
But he was like perma-stunned. The Spear Breaker, he's got his level 12 Nether Strike. He's dealing so much damage in his own right, despite being a support. And the other thing is he has Spider Legs. Oh my god, he deals so much damage whenever he hits someone, because Spider Legs gives insane amounts of move speed.
Yeah.
So his Greater Bash, which is actually only 2 points. Yeah, he's just locking down the Silencer and doing a ton of damage. I am thinking that TNC may need to start building some of their own defensive items. Bounty Hunter has the mech, which is good, but they may need to start building more BKBs on the side of TNC. So far, only Armel has it, but I think Gabby may need to consider it eventually himself.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, they're going to need a lot to keep him alive. Like we saw in that last fight, if you get Gabby at the start of the fight, they'll lose that fight. That's very clear at this point. But they hadn't been able to do that previously, and well, now see what the answer is. Can he find some good positioning here?
Whoa.
That's the Abyssal Blade opening up onto KP. Can they kill him off in time? He's got Pipe afterwards if he can ever not be bashed in this life. But apparently that's not what happens. And Dust's going to be off the mark for Bounty Hunter.
Getting a little bit concerning now for TNC.
Oh yeah.
Fights are getting harder and harder. KYXY is becoming a bigger and bigger damage force. All of these dispels are now coming online. As, well, I guess nothing's really changed too significantly in terms of dispels, but are now more capable of starting fights. I think part of the reason why all these fights have been going so poorly is because whenever Hustler initiates with a charge, no one was really able to follow up. With Timbersaw may be able to jump in, but he doesn't provide crowd control. He just provides damage. But now, Hustler or Alacrity with this Abyssal Blade can very easily start a fight and finish the fight themselves. Like, Alacrity's just walking up to this mid-tier 2.
Yeah, he's become the carry that we knew eventually was going to be hard for this TNC lineup to deal with. And trying to pull these creep wave past the tower, as they are going to get tracks onto everybody. Cookie goes out, lands the stun, and he's actually dropping real quick. But the charge comes through. Dust is out. Hustler looking like he's dead. Now, with the Mortimer's Kisses, they have the follow-up they need with Armel, but the chain's only connecting onto creeps. They buy back on the Spirit Breaker, wants to run into this fight. Can Reality Rift make escape? Drew misses the chains, and the root is going to land stun afterwards with the Cookie. Another disruption from Nuts, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to keep that Timber alive.
Mules.
Okay,
Rod.
KP finding him again. Shackles somehow lands onto Snapfire. That's Gabby. That's a lot of their damage. KP's in some trouble. Can he end up getting out of there in time? Doesn't look like it. They've got the control for Gabby. On the other side, Alacrity is trying to take down this Ember, but it's not quickly enough. He didn't have his ulti. They blow up that Wind Ranger, buyback from the Shadow Demon. It's only Alacrity and Nuts facing off against this Silencer. I don't think they can just turn around. Although BKB, that's hard to fight. Gabby needs to get the hell out of here. Force step up to the high ground. He's gonna stun himself. Oh no, he gets it off on Tim's. Nuts was being chased out by March. Slowdown coming yet again. Missed there because of the Radiance. And now that Shuriken almost able to get the kill. They can't quite find it. As Nuts is able to get away with murder, Gabby might be able to put the final finish. And there it is, the Aghanims tossed in from downtown. Tim's makes it happen. I didn't even realize he had the freaking eggs.
Get dunked on. Wow. I guess they really need the Spirit Vessel if they want to kill the Alchemist, because between the BKB and the Chemical Rage, Gabby is not able to beat it, but god damn, Gabby does an insane amount of damage right now. I'm actually surprised that he didn't go for the +2 permanent int steal at level 15. Instead, he went for the Arcane Curse slow, which seems kind of odd, seeing as how they have like a bajillion dispels on Reality Rift now, and I mean, he's been level 15 for a while. He should, as a carry silencer, I feel like you always take the +2 int steal talent, but he's still a force to be reckoned with, assuming he ever gets to attack, because again, we saw the Spirit Breaker just bump into the silencer and then ult the silencer, and he was out of commission for like 5 seconds, and that's very, very expensive if you're the really only damage dealer on the side of your team. But still not opting for a BKB, which granted that would not really help against silencer. My main concern is that if silencer initiates, that would not really help against Spirit Breaker. My main issue is if that Spirit Breaker initiates, then Gabby gets unstable concoction afterwards, and then he's definitely screwed. So if he can just turn on the BKB before Spirit Breaker bumps into him, then he should be able to survive almost every fight.
Yeah, that chain stun that we've seen has really seemed to be the problem. And granted, some of that's the bashes and the Abyssal Blade coming out from Alk, like you were talking about, but there is also that element of it, of just this stun, you know, the unstable concoction or the shackle shot landing or whatever. But we'll have to watch and wait. It is going to be actually that Lincoln Sphere done like you were talking about.
And on Ember Spirit as well.
Oh, timing. Lincoln's popped right there. Rooted for the moment. Hustler, Spirit Vessel, already out onto him. The right clicks are coming fast and furious. That tree, I'm sure, has never been there before. As they manage to find that shackle, Mortimer Kisses comes out. Armel gets the back away with the BKB. And that is just going to reset the fight. I swear, I've never seen that tree before. The hell?
It's a phantom tree.
Rooted. KYXY in trouble. Disruption yet again to save a life, but he is not going to be living for all that long, as they will find another kill, +2 for the silencer. And they're looking. The long range. Oh, not quite able to get it, as KP living. Dude, that freaking eat and toss is unbelievable.
What is with you and not calling Mortimer's spells by their name. It's not called eat and toss. It's called gobble up.
Gobble up. Whatever. I don't care, man.
Actually, I don't even know what the spit out is called. Is it called spit out?
I mean, that's what it says. Spit out.
Okay. Yeah. It's very elegant.
Yeah.
Aegis goes the way of Gabby. And Cheese goes the way of Armel. They both have Lincoln spheres now. Man, Silencer carry deals so much damage.
Dude, the only answer to greed is more greed. Honestly, like, you look at these net worths right here, right? Alchemist is huge. He's this, like, indomitable force that you can only kill once everybody else is dead, it feels like. But then look at all the rest of these heroes, right? Like, they are so far ahead of these broke supports of Reality Rift. It's tough.
Yeah, at least March gets the virtue of track gold, but the other two, like Spearbreaker has bought back like twice in this game already. Yeah. Shadow Demon's been hemorrhaging gold on Sentry Wards, because I honestly don't blame them for not getting a gem at this point, because like, who do you give it to? I don't really think Alchemist can be trusted with the gem, and he doesn't really have the slots for the gem. I guess you could give it to KYXY, yeah, but even that's a little bit dangerous. Now that he has a BKB, it's not so bad, but... Actually, yeah, maybe they should buy a gem at this point.
I think at this stage of the game, it's feeling more and more likely, though, that TNC could wrap this one up. Like, because, I mean, I think the worry that we both had was that Alk was going to, like, be able to have free reign over the map. They weren't going to be fighting that much. Again, like, can't stress enough how much I didn't think there were going to be 62 kills in 37 minutes. And... That didn't really happen, and now TNC have taken all the outer towers. So if they win one more fight in a good position with the creep wave, they're going to take a tier 3 no matter how slowly they push. Yeah, and Alchemist is kind of getting to the point of capping out very, very soon. He's already basically 6-slotted. Aghanim Scepters haven't started coming out yet. Moonshard hasn't come out yet. Not that it's going to be that important for him. He doesn't have any proc items other than the bash, but... he is not going to get that much stronger in terms of defense, whereas Silencer, you know, infinite scaling dog, he is only going to get larger and larger with each passing team fight. And the more attack speed he gets, he also gets very, very strong now, which is kind of a marked difference from the Silencers of yore, just because of how his orb works the way that OD's orb used to work, where it's just each attack gives you more and more damage incrementally. So he's just going to get bigger and bigger. And Armel as well. Like, Armel, this is not close to what a 6-slotted Ember will be capable of at some point. Yeah, it's true. And, you know, if you needed to, you could have somebody else build the Spirit Vessel if he needs to get more damage later on, but that's probably not even going to be the case. Yeah. Who was it that had that data? Oh, my God. Snapfire has the Chrysalis, and the little Shredder uses attack damage. Hell yeah. That's pretty hype. That's insane. All right, let's see how it goes. The wraparound is here. TNC, they're on the wrong side. KYXY comes out. BKB trying to take down Tims. That is a big, tanky girl, but they already have the bash. Gabby under control and going to die. That's Aegis one time. Now with the BKB starting to run low, they're going to have the Mortimer's Kisses out onto him. Global is there. Wind Ranger is done, and KP throwing out the ulti to try and get everybody out of harm's way. Actually cancels it now. And with 2 dead, they think they can take this fight. Alacrity doesn't have BKB anymore. They got him under control. The stun is there. Finds the cookie. Going to be able to take down this Alacrity Alchemist as Gabby finishes him off along with Nuts. And that's the gem on the ground. Oh, yeah, that's what basically, that's the writing on the wall that we were expecting. Great angle of approach from TNC. That is not an easy position to take that fight. To freaking go around to Radiant's off lane and then come up these stairs, that is very, very complicated. But they managed to get that very, very peculiar angle, catch KYXY kind of by surprise, though it seemed that Silencer was going to be in a lot of trouble, but the Aegis was the make or break factor. Him just giving away the first life bought enough time for the rest of TNC to get into position and take a very, very strong team fight. And now he's massive. Yeah, he's destroying this Timber Saw. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Repair kits, eat your heart out afterwards as well. And now Gabby there has the sheep stick afterwards. I mean, if you let the Silencer get to this stage of the game, like, it's just over. He's too hard to kill. Man,
They have
TNC.
triple buyback on Reality Rift, and their tier 4s are taking damage. And I think that was all 3 repair kits that were spent already.
Yeah, that's really a problem. Buyback's all there. They're trying to force back the rest of TNC. Underlord ulti back off cooldown in 3 seconds.
Okay.
And they can use it if they need, or can just back out.
They should not. The global's up in 20 seconds. There's no point risking this. You just were able to successfully bait out 2 buybacks. I think you should be pretty satisfied with that. Only take 1 set of racks, but I think that if they had gone for another set of racks, Reality Rift would not have started buying back on everyone. It's the threat of the T4s that were stressing them out.
Yeah.
But global is up in 3 seconds now, so now if they want to fight, it's not a terrible idea.
No. It's crazy, man. This game is absolutely nuts. I mean, again, you have 68 kills. And this is how a bounty hunter can win a game. Like, I wish we had one of those overlays for how much track gold was given. Because, like,
give me the layers.
Right? Like, I mean, this Snapfire is almost ahead of the Timbersaw. Like, I don't know. It felt like Reality Rift picked this ALK and then didn't really play the normal ALK games that we've been seeing that have been winning, that have run this strategy, which is like, wait for that defensive item first, as they're going to go on to this Snapfire. Just an illusion. Illusionist cape revealed.
I would give a lot of credit to TNC for throwing Reality Rift off balance, though. The first couple of minutes where they were just constantly invading the jungle of Dire, that kind of gets into your head as an Alchemist team. And so you, after being so defensive for like so many fights, that you're kind of thinking to yourself, oh my god, they have a bounty hunter on their team. We need to take a fight to them, don't we? We need to like reverse this momentum. Yeah. But I agree, it was a little bit hasty because they just didn't have the dispels necessary to take such a fight.
It reminds me of the old MVP team, you know, the old ideas of just caveman Dota, and you get people to all of a sudden do things that they wouldn't normally do, throw them off balance by creating chaos. And I mean, this is why I think TNC were hurting before when they didn't have March. This man knows how to play some Dota. As they walk up on the high ground, KP, they go on to the Shadow Demon. No defense now is available afterwards. BKB already out from KP as they have the global alacrity. Would have stunned himself, but he had his BKB of his own. Little Shredder destroys.
He didn't kill March.
Gablo looking for more. They're trying to get out of there. March living. They could cancel this if they want, or they just leave Armel and March to their own devices. As Gabby did die, Armel trying to back up. Spirit Vessel. Everybody's coming back in. Say hello, because round 2 is here. They have the control. They've got the Spirit Vessel out, and that is going to be Alacrity dead yet again.
Man, and they did that without the silencer. That's huge. Now everyone's capable. They root up the Timbersaw.
Yep. Dude, look at Armel. This guy's such a boss. He's just like, he was body blocking him like creeps going down mid lane. What a freaking baller.
Dude, tier 4s are down, and Silencer bought back. He doesn't have BOTs, but he's just ninja gearing all the way over.
Oh no, TNC. Oh, have they gone a bit too far, or are they just going to be able to get this kill? Abyssal Blade comes out, lands onto one, but KP has the Yules, and with him showing up, that should be about all she wrote. They've got a repair kit trying to keep alive the throne. Can they do it, though? Gabby, I mean, he did buy back. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Yeah, good save. Tim's keeps him alive, and now the turn. One last time, on to Drew. Reality Rift, they are, I mean, you can Timber Chain away, but they're going to take your throne. Unbelievable.
I guess they had one last charge, but it's not going to make much of a difference. Alchemist is dead for 2 minutes. It will be a valiant effort from Hustler, but one in vain. KP will die.
Nah, he's got buyback if he wants to go for it.
Just kill the Ancient.
No, they're killing them. They're killing the heroes. How dare you stand up to us? Right. TNC win game number 1 in very, very dominant fashion. Sick stuff.
I can't help but wonder how much damage that Gabby would have ended up with if he took the int talent, because he was a part of 39 kills. Mm-hmm. That Silencer was a part of 39 kills. Dude, and as a 1 position, he probably hit level 15 very, very early. But who knows? Maybe that Arcane Curse slow was also the game changer, because regardless, they still won. And in one of the highest kill games that... And we've casted some pretty outrageous games. I think this one was the highest kill game. right?
It's pretty, yeah, I think so as well. I just looked on March's profile because I was like, has he been playing a lot of Bounty Hunter recently? He's actually been playing a couple of different things, but yeah, it feels like this is one of the styles that TNC can run with. And if they can play like this, if they can play their normal, more like methodical style of gameplay, then I think that they might be back. They might be coming on back. I don't know.
Yeah, because the way that the draft was shaping up, it seemed heavily Reality Rift favored. Just because I didn't think TNC were capable of being able to take objectives quickly, and I didn't think that they could really, I don't know, win the lanes as heavily as they did. But they didn't really have a laning phase. There was a laning phase for like 3 minutes, and then after that, it was just Slayer.
Yeah. They just started running at them in the jungle, which, I mean, you know, if it works, it works. I think that like slow down a little bit of the Alchemist Radiance timing, and then a combination of TNC running at them, like you said, and then like forcing Reality Rift into some like weird engagements, and then Reality Rift also deciding to take that fight with the Alch before he got Manta was a couple of the like sort of game deciding moments in that one where they just never got off the ground. Damn. Well, game number 2 right around the corner. Tsunami, what you thinking?
Thinking I'm gonna miss casting this. This has been like some of the most high intensity games that I've had the pleasure of watching in a very, very long time. And maybe it's just the patch, or maybe it's just the region, or maybe it's just the teams, but if nothing else, I'm looking forward to game 2.
Absolutely. I want to see some more of this stuff. Go crazy. Let's go some more 80 kill games. Let's make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, move back in just a little bit. Game number 2, TNC facing out against Reality Rift. Let's see if they can get a 2-0 or if Reality Rift are going to push us to 3 games. Be back in a bit.
Going through the smoke walk. She's gonna go down. Walksing with the AWE position. Earthshaker's moving in as well. Echo Slam connects on it too. Back row tire down as well.
Always wins the brawl. Or can we cast the curse in? There we go.
Loot bet.
ens, put it upper belt,
Miners Majori haastaa legendaarisi. Nyt isos liigas niinku Roosberg. Suomalais rättii maailmanluokan kaliberi. 2 lasi maito ja 1 lasi piimää. Ei se kylvää ja ei se siittää. Natu paljusta kansi avataan. Pojat on tulos, torilla tavataan. Easy for ens, dance. Put the upper belt. Easy for ens, dance. Put the upper belt. Allu on valmiina myllyttää, vihut valmiina hyllyttää. Piti mennä A, mut mentikin B. Nimikko, taktiikka, Aleksi B. Nuori osuja Sergei jakaa, hiustyylei vanhaan tapaa. X7 saitin luukottaa, haastiksis miki puudottaa. Airia City pojas kentil, mut ei kansait peli kentil. Kynäri kansa tietää ketkä on nää JNC, pistää ykkösel päihin. Easy for ens, dance. Put the upper belt. Easy for ens, dance. Put the upper belt.
They pull another one out of the hats and can make it more competitive for free.
And Sergei's flank is fantastic. Look at the headshot. Tries to run forward and X7 will punish him. Alexi doesn't even allow him, and they're all ready to rock and roll.
Easy for ens, dance. Put the upper belt. Easy for ens, dance. Put the upper belt.
Niin mä sanoin.
tired and kicked out of here. My man, TNC versus Reality Rift Game 1 was an absolute bloodbath. I don't know if we're going to see a similar type of thing in game number 2. How do you feel like these teams sort of rate against each other? I mean, obviously they're playing a series right now to determine that, but like, do you think that after what you've seen, there's a team that you're feeling a little bit is stronger right now?
Not yet. No. Like I had said, even before game 1, I think that both the series today have a very, very strong potential to go 3 games. And after seeing game 1, I still find that just as likely. TNC impressing me with the level of adaptability for sure. Yeah. But again, as you had mentioned in game 1, a team with March at the helm doesn't really surprise me that they're capable of such a thing. And Reality Rift impressing me just with a very unique draft, being able to pick up the Alchemist early on. It was a good draft for it. Have a Wind Ranger as well, which maybe I should be drinking some of the Deep Slacks Kool-Aid because it did lose. So maybe it is onto something, but I don't think that there's a clear front runner quite yet.
Okay, fair enough. You guys might hear some dogs barking in the background. They're in the bedroom right now. Ooh. Very, very upset at the world because I don't know why exactly. They just sometimes they get freaked out that there's like people outside or something. And
did you take them on a walk today?
I did. So after these series, whenever the game gets done, there's a school which is obviously closed down right now because everybody's on quarantine. But I get done and. This morning, I think I went out at like 4:30 in the morning and took them to a walk to the football field. Remaining. And then I just sort of walk round and round and round for about like an hour and then play fetch with them while we're walking around the football field. And then they get super worn out and exhausted. And then they come and take a nap with me while I'm sleeping the day away. So that's
sounds
my
like
life.
Pure bliss.
It's actually pretty great. Waking up and then like not seeing anybody near me and just like being outside and there's nothing going on. It's great. It's wonderful.
I could get used to this life.
I know, it's good. Yeah. Anyways, we got a game number 2, and holy Toledo, TNC, they get their bounty, they get their Snapfire. Reality Rift already open with the Rubik. Are they trying to steal some tracks? Trying to steal some gold? What's happening here?
Maybe. There are basically only 2 respect bands targeted towards the last draft, and I guess it's only TNC with the respect because they ban out Reality Rift's Shadow Demon and then Reality Rift ban out their own Timbersaw. So surprisingly, Reality Rift's not really too concerned about what TNC brought to the table in game 1. I don't know if Bounty Hunter is worth a ban, to be honest. So it kind of makes sense. The only thing that surprises me is that now, yet again, Snapfire gets picked, and yet again, Nyx Assassin. If you first phase this Rubik, then you kind of have no choice, and you can't really fit a Nyx Assassin into the draft. But still, like I think you just turn it into like a 5-position Nyx. Like early on, Rubik can lane with the carry, and then later on just make Nyx buy all the wars because he's so good against Snapfire. We saw how useful Snapfire's ult was during those game 1 early team fights because there was just no one there to cancel her Mortimer kisses, and with the insane amounts of root that they had on TNC between the chains and the Pit of Malice and the Rod, she was just able to get like full duration ultis off and kill people constantly. So Nyx Assassin's so good, and TNC not having to ban Nyx and being able to pick Snapfire is like such a huge asset for them right now.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. I think that Nyx is going to be. I'm wondering if TNC are going to ban it now, because I still think that you could take it yourself if you wanted to, as much as it would be kind of weird. But regardless, we'll have to see. Centaur taken as well, so they're at least able to run away from the fights, which is nice. And I
like how you're already assuming it's going to be a defensive oriented draft from Reality Rift. I think you're on the right wavelength.
You're not wrong. I mean, it's kind of the way that it just looks to me right now, based upon what like the last game turned into. I don't know. Maybe it was crazy. Maybe it's going to be something where they can just like put up team fight that's strong enough that like if TNC try and fight into them, they'll just lose 5-0. Maybe that's the other option. I don't know. It's a weird one.
TNC Predators turn to pick.
TNC gonna ban out Bane. So they are seeming to want to put a strong emphasis on lane dominance yet again. Well, actually, I say yet again, but in game one, as I mentioned, there did not seem to be much of a laning phase whatsoever. But Legion Commander definitely a strong laner and strong dispel, so they can not really be too concerned about this chain disable potentially coming out from Rubik with the telekinesis, hoof stomp, and then whatever Rubik may steal. Granted, flip side, you also are playing Legion Commander into a Rubik, and it'll be very, very difficult not to give away press the attack.
Yeah, that's the one of the frustrating things is suddenly your Rubik becomes a defensive hero, where otherwise it might not have been. So what are they going to opt for? Where's my dog again? I feel so bad for my wife. She's trying to sleep in there. She's got work tomorrow, and dogs just will not stop barking.
I can only very barely hear it. I think maybe the frequency that they're at like doesn't penetrate the walls quite as much to your microphone.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work went into making that happen. Not really at all. No, definitely. So let's see.
Is that corkboard thing not sound absorbing behind you?
That's not
a corkboard.
No, it's
a
map.
map.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a map. Okay.
So at our wedding, we had our friends and family put down like little messages with little pins of where we should go and why we should go there of the world. That's what that is. It's a map.
And how many have you gone, and how many have she not been able to come with you for?
A decent amount of them, but she's actually traveled pretty extensively too. She's been to she's actually been to a couple countries that I haven't been. Israel. Where else? I think she went to somewhere else. I don't really know. I don't really pay attention.
That's what the pins are for.
Exactly. We got the Pugna, and then we got the DP taken from TNC. So they've got crazy team fight right now on TNC. Damn. That's real.
I wonder if that's why they banned out the Bane, is because they didn't want people messing with Nightmare. And then Reality Rift just like, well, screw you. We'll pick something else to mess with your duel. They don't want anything to mess with the duel like Bane Nightmare would have. And so Reality Rift go for a Decrep with the Pugna, but they pretty much have to turn it into a mid laner because there's no way Centaur is going to be anything other than the 3. And it could be a 4 Pugna, but then you have a 5 Rubik. And so both of those are not really great flex options. So it seems pretty obvious that it's going to be a mid Pugna playing into a most likely mid DP.
Yeah, I mean, we did see the Boomy Pugna 4, agreed, but and I think that I have seen a couple of Rubik's 5, but it feels like the most obvious explanation is, like you said, just the mid Pugna, especially since they already have that DP there. Gyrocopter gets taken, trying to match the tempo from this early aggression TNC is putting out. I'm already envisioning this DP moving in towards a mid lane, trying to take down a tower, and then Gyro needing to make a rotation, and then just like level 6 drop the ulti or something. You know what I mean? Something like that.
And I'm also curious if Gyro... Okay, so I feel like I'm typically seeing Gyro in this region with IO, and not so much without IO. But in other regions, Gyro seems to be a relatively popular... Well, the only other region being the Americas, but it seems to be a relatively popular carry. Evil Geniuses is picking it a fair amount. And
5 seconds remaining.
Quincy Crew as well. So I guess it's a good carry in its own right. Yeah. But to me, in this region, it seems surprising to have it be selected without the IO when there are still plenty of other options available. And I don't really know what Gyrocopter's strength is necessarily right now. It may just be they like it against Legion Commander, which is reasonable. Gyro, tons of magic damage versus the Legion Commander, and you don't really need to right-click her very much and give her a bunch of Moment of Courage procs. So I imagine that that's what the justification is.
Okay.
5 seconds
remaining. I can dig it. I think that it's like all of this tempo that I think Reality Rift are trying to hit feels like it's go early fight with TNC, which to me feels like it's almost like, and Ember fits this bill as well, but that does also mean probably 4 Pugna. I think that this might be the
5 Rubik.
Yeah, again, it's I don't it. To me, they think it again. It feels like it's not necessarily the mentality that you want to have playing against a bounty hunter. Just fight. I don't know.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know, man.
5 seconds.
I don't like Pugna would have been fine against Death Prophet, and I think that, or they also could do 4 Ember.
Hey.
But either way, it still has to be a 5 Rubik, though.
Eat your heart out, Fnatic. I guess it could depend on what the matchup is mid too. So,
well, it'll. There's no way it's not going to be Death Prophet. I don't think.
There's been 1 or 2 safe lane DPs, and it's better against Centaur than like most other ones because you get more heal off of it. If they like felt like they didn't want the matchup mid for whatever reason, but I agree that the most likely thing is DP. I mean, we just see now a 4 Pugna, 5 Rubik. I don't like my hands are off the wheel.
You're right.
You're right. Who knows what's gonna happen here?
Let's see. Monkey King's band, Timber's band. Let's see.
Templar Assassin.
Okay, you're right.
I don't
Safe
know, man.
lane, DP.
The fuck's happening? There's some crazy stuff going on here. Wait, no, it's safe lane.
Oh no,
TA.
Oh, safe lane TA.
Because that makes more sense.
Because that makes more sense.
All right, TNC, let's go. I'm down. Whatever they can do whatever they want. I'm excited to watch this game.
This has to be just because they want to abuse the fact that there's a freaking 5 position Rubik.
Okay.
I don't think there's any other reason why you would pick a Templar Assassin as your 22nd pick safe lane carry.
Maybe Gabby's going to play it mid this game. They're going to swap up the lanes for whatever reason. Who knows?
Okay. I mean, yeah, because I agreed with your justification for safe lane Death Prophet because it would be a pretty strong matchup versus the Centaur.
Right.
And I think with the Snapfire, you could definitely get kills on a Centaur as well. So it seemed reasonable, but why the Templar Assassin? Like, what Templar Assassin does not seem very good against Ember Spirit, obviously. The Gyrocopter also burns through refraction very, very quickly. Pugna Life Drain does as well. Rubik can steal traps, and Centaur can give Stampede so everyone can just walk over your traps. So why Templar Assassin?
Maybe it's really good against the Pugna Centaur lane. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know, man. I guess the other thing that they could be thinking... Well, no, I was going to say that maybe they want to like clear through stacks later and try and like play that fashion. But if you have a bounty hunter, then you want to play with fighting.
Well, they just go for like a bristleback then.
Yeah, agreed. Well, we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. Tune in.
Mosquito buzz. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2, TNC facing off against Reality Rift after a very solid team performance from TNC in the last game, playing around the track.
Give me the odds.
You want the
Give
odds?
me the odds.
What do we got here? Let me hit them up. It looks like they're the same as they were before, roughly.
Intriguing.
So, yeah. Not much change, at least at the beginning.
What were they? Are you talking about still from game 1 or from before the draft started?
From before the draft started. So 1.44 TNC, 2.67 for Reality Rift.
And what were they looking like at the beginning of game 1?
A little bit less than that. So TNC has gained on Reality Rift even more than they were before.
Which would be reasonable, seeing as how they won the game.
Yes.
So, fair. All right, Templar Assassin. All right, Templar Assassin. What's your plan here?
Yo, is it Psyblade harass Centaur so he doesn't get retaliate stacks?
Okay, yeah, I mean that's fine. or you could just pick Bristle.
I don't know. You're not wrong.
30 seconds to battle.
I guess that the other thing that this is going to give you, well, not even really. Like, I was thinking that maybe he's probably going to go blink first on Gabby and try and run around and find kills with Bounty Hunter. That would be one of the things, and like maybe play with KP too. Like, try and play the pick-off style with a TA that has blink early.
I don't know. Safe lane kind of says to me because someone needs to take over the lane. Then someone needs to be farming that lane, and who's going to do it? Because Death Prophet is going to be wanting to like use her exorcism on demand to push objectives, and in the meanwhile, someone needs to be farming. I think it's mainly going to be the Legion Commander who's going to be playing with March, and then TA. I'm guessing it's going to be that stack strategy that you said, where they're just going to get a bunch of ancients for her. She's going to mow them down, and then if she gets the Desolator online, then she'll join Death Prophet for exorcism pushes.
Well done, my beauties.
But I would be more hyped to see Blink Dagger first, because then it's going to be the same freaking 80 kill score game that we saw in game 1.
Right. Yeah. Right now has the Wraith Band and a Bassi queued up. Gonna get some Cyblade damage out there. It's gonna be interesting to watch this. At least so far, Tim's not really gonna be able to do that much to help, but he does have the headdress. Also saw March go for the double stacks of tangos, shared some with his mid, and now has boots coming out to him. So boots are gonna be online for this bounty hunter early on as he's blocked in. Interesting. So he's waiting until the creep doubles up by the tower, but he didn't decide to pull it back behind the tower. So this is going to no longer push in. That was very weird. Okay, fine.
Like Radiance Wave?
Yeah, Radiance Wave is gonna, the Gyro's doing a really good job, Drew, is of holding it right here by this tower. So it looks like this is gonna all even out fairly well.
Yeah. I don't know who that, I guess, yeah, I don't know if March was trying to go aggressive with that, though. I don't know if he wanted it to, like, stay in the lane so that he could get... Well, he didn't take Janata, actually, so I think, yeah.
Maybe he's just going to do the same thing again now?
Yeah, this is a massive wave now in front of Drew. And so if he draws this away, then this gyrocopter needs to be very, very key. I'm like, there's so many Radiant creeps here. There's so many Radiant creeps.
This is actually going to be really bad for Drew. Yeah, KP's going to be able to try and bully this a little bit as well. He's already got 1 point in the moment of courage, so Drew kind of has to back out.
So far back.
Yeah.
He has to go outside of tower range.
Trading hits. They do have a missile coming to land on KP here. He's got the double rings of regen, which is keeping him alive. Nuts, meanwhile, taking through this creep aggro as well. Very interesting start to this top lane here.
Yeah, and now March just completely hijacked the wave, and he's chilling. And KP is just like, I want some experience.
You know what's cool about this is that normally this move right here, if you're nuts, you run down and you contest the farm of the bounty hunter. You can't do that if KP is pressuring your gyrocopter with level 2. We're going to see more teams start to do this. The only downside to it is that KP gets like maybe a little bit more harassment than he would have otherwise. But basically, you secure that this bounty gets all that experience for himself because Nuts can't leave.
It's true. And now he has Janata, he has Boots. He is much more of a threat to this support Pugna than he would have been with just level 1. So not a bad turn of events.
Yeah. It feels like it's the sort of next iteration of the pull behind the tower meme that we've been seeing.
The only penalty is now KP has had to walk all the way back to the fountain, but someone else is keeping the lane warm. So if the idea is to get this bounty hunter like power leveled as a position 4, then it's working out.
Yeah. And Tim's, you've been relegated. You're just gonna hang out over here, my buddy. Sorry, man. Don't worry. He'll catch up to you later when you get the bounty hunter gold. Very interesting. Because it feels like they've been trying to find more ways to make this bounty hunter work. We think back again to that, like, just courier sniping that March was doing before, as he is going to get the Janata hit off. Alacrity is... Oh my god, are you kidding me? Rune. It's the only one where he lives right there, I think.
He would have lived with Invis too, I think.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Good call.
Oh, Tim's is here. Oh, it's a party. There's 6 heroes mid.
Alright. So yeah, Nuts heads back up top. And looks like March is going to stick around for a little bit, but there's a sentry ward down, so he won't be able to get too much done. Maybe he can find a courier snipe.
Yeah, he didn't try to draw aggro to verify if a sentry was placed, though, so if he comes back mid, he may not realize that he'd be vulnerable under vision. But yeah, it's sniping time. Place up this observer ward. There's a courier sitting in the secret shop right now.
I saw that ending from miles.
He's heading over here. A little bit of trash talk back and forth from Gabby, who has quietly been able to have a very nice lane for himself, although Centaur slightly better.
Of course, the bounty hunter gets it.
Of course.
He doesn't take that name lightly.
Yeah, and Hustle's like, yeah, all right, I'm just going to take that one away. Alacrity telling him that he wasn't going to be able to get it, slowed down by that bounty. And March still trying to make his life a little bit of hell here. Popping that Janata. Very frustrating. Armel could have thought about going in there. But but not deciding to go all the way in.
He's got the siege creep wave. Whoa, you gotta be careful there, buddy. He just took a bunch of damage from that nether ward.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Whoa, he really wants to get a siphon off. They're not giving it to him.
Chase afterwards. He gets the siphon off. Hustler might be in some trouble here. He's going to get ran down by these ghosts. Spooky ghosts. First blood at...
Armel.
It's a very different game. Yeah, he does go down to the tower. And meanwhile, back over here, they take down Tim's as well. So first blood goes to TNC, but it comes at a cost.
What? That is not how you want to spend your first exorcism. Yeah, I mean, tier 2 towers hurt a lot, and so he ends up going just barely into range for it, and yeah, I mean, Hustler, I think, is more than okay with that, trading his life for that, as now KYXY actually getting very, very low.
Yeah, stuns up now. KYXY was able to turn it back around onto Gabby, almost finding the kill, but he was able to back away afterwards, has the level 6, can maybe start to play aggro with the traps. Interesting game.
Interesting. Scratching my chin. Interesting.
I don't know what the play is though. Like, I guess you just still try and group up around this DP, making moves around the map.
I think it's pretty. Both teams for Radiant, they are just gonna wait until this TA completes her first major item, and then once she does that, then you're just gonna play around exorcism timings, and then between that, you're going to have Bounty Hunter and KP be hunting people in the jungle. And then for Reality Rift, it's basically just make Gyro as gigantic as possible. That's the only name of the game. And it's not as risky as the Alchemist game because Gyrocopter can actually fight earlier on, whereas the Alchemist was just like, please leave me alone for 13 minutes.
Yeah.
March.
Well, they knew he was over here, and he is going to get punished. Does not have another invis, and that dust on him anyways. So Drew finds that kill. They're spotting out KP right now that there are creeps nearby, and it looks like Gyro, he doesn't really feel confident going in to take those yet. He needs only the 1-point flat cannon right now. I think that that's going to become another point of contention, maybe even around this next exorcism of Armel's.
Radiant are scanning.
I don't know if Bounty was able to spot it. Do you know if he was able to spot it?
He did spot both of them. Yeah, they're going for it.
Their team is more than capable of it. But again, like I would prefer Armel to be using Exorcism to be taking towers. If they really want to rotate for it, then Templar Assassin's the best hero suited for the task. But she's taking her own stacks right now and gets 2 tier 1 items, which Tim's will scoop up. Is he going to take one? Yeah. Oh wait, no, he used it on Gabby. What a player Tim's is. He used the jelly onto Gabby and then sends it back to base for someone else. What a sweetheart.
Ooh, and they get a shovel. I like the shovel. Wait, where'd the shovel go?
I think TA's... Oh yeah, where'd it go?
It was underneath the corpse of that Thunderhide lizard. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they picked it up afterwards. So meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Reality Rift taking down these other stacks. March trying to soak up whatever experience he can. They do have no wards in the area. That one is just now going to get spotted. March could think about going back up. They have dust available on Nuts if they want to use it, but I think March is just going to take down this observer ward and then back out of there afterwards.
And now Armel is here, and there's still a bunch of creeps here, and there's still Nuts here.
Well, Nuts goes down.
That's such a lot of shuriken damage.
I mean, Drew doesn't have ulti right now, actually, so he can't really do all that much. With Hustler nearby, they didn't see his cooldown earlier, though, so that means that he can kind of bluff it out. TNC will back out.
And Ember Spirit's helping out to finish out the rest of the creeps, although he is now TPing to this outpost. Ooh, this could definitely catch TA by surprise. Oh wait, never mind, TA is not even there, she's top.
Yeah, it's just Tim.
Oh wow, TA is... He's pushing this tower. Stampede mid. Yep,
they got Tim's here. Armel still living through it, has 15 sick charges, pops it afterwards, and they force back Alacrity and the rest of Reality Rift. They clear through the wave, and up top lane, as you said, TA takes down the tier 1 tower. So trading off tier 1s, nothing really to write home about there. Stacks have basically been cleaned up, and then in the meantime, March was able to get one of those bounty runes as the dust comes out, and he eventually is going to go down here, it looks like.
Didn't pay off. So a fraction of the kills, but way more objectives being claimed compared to game one. As yeah, both tier 1 towers are taken systematically on opposing sides of the map, and yet it's only a 7-kill game.
Right. Yeah, 10 minutes and not at all the pace. But then again, like, this could be the way that it kind of goes, where suddenly things start popping off again, just because of, like, you know, needing to get your track on Bounty Hunter online now, and wanting to play around with the Exorcism and maybe like a Blink Dagger later for Legion. I don't know. I guess that the Ember really does help to set that tempo, though. Not having Ember Spirit is going to make it a lot harder for TNC to do the same thing they did last game.
Yeah, I don't know if Templar can fulfill the same thing. The one thing that I will say that Templar maybe does slightly better than Bristleback in this particular draft is they will be able to take Roche much, much earlier.
Right.
And so if they are going to be able to accelerate with that, then that would be a fantastic timing for them to work around. If they can get the Roche once TA completes the Desolator, maybe even spend Exorcism for it, then that would be a very, very early spike, as Reality Rift are all just camping around this mid-tier 1.
Stampede available, as well as Call Down. They're ready to go with all of them. KP is there with the press the attack and throw it out. Is it going to be keeping them alive? No, not at all. And in fact, KP is the one that might be in trouble. Well, they kill off Tim's as well, so both go down. And as you said, Reality Rift, they are the ones who can definitely fight.
All right, well, Templar's actually coming mid.
Okay.
Oh, they're all coming mid.
The slowdown. Reality Rift. Gotta be careful. They have duel available. Press the attack.
Maybe he has maxed out press the attack, so even overwhelming odds isn't like that much to discourage them. But I guess they had no creep wave regardless, so they back off. Still managed to successfully kill off the Death Prophet and draw the Templar Assassin back to the mid lane.
Right. I think it's what you're talking about, though, of like later on being able to get a really fast Roche. If KP has pressed the attack maxed out and then Gabby gets his Deso done, they could just like smoke in and steal that so quickly.
Yeah, and then just make the Death Prophet gigantic between her Spirit Siphon and then press the attack behind her. Then she's going to be very, very difficult to kill. And she's going for a Yules as well on Armel's Death Prophet.
That's an interesting build from KP. Like, obviously super team fight, or rather team oriented, but 140 attack speed is pretty insane.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like I said, 1,000 gold lead for Reality Rift, who are up 7 kills to 2 in a much less quick gameplay than we've been seeing so far. Not quite able to get there with the Scatter Blast onto Nuts, and Alacrity on his very comfortable hero, the Ember Spirit here, and he's going to be going for Aghanims after Maelstrom, it looks like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's not something that I've been seeing second item on Ember Spirits very often.
Tower is under attack.
It will be very, very, again, irritating for a one-position Templar Assassin to have to deal with, who does now have the Desolator completed. And like Armel has not been able to use any exorcisms. He got the first one off and then died to the tier 2, and then since then he's just never found a good opportunity. If they smoke into the pit, though, I think they can get away with this.
Yeah, it feels like Reality Rift are like so aware of what's happening right now. Gabby has the...
Oh, did he get the... Oh, he got the invis on Alacrity. Did you see that or no?
No, I didn't, no.
Never mind.
Okay, sounds good.
He did the 6th sleight of fist onto the enemy mid and then pick it up while you're on top of them.
Oh, nifty.
Nifty.
I like it.
Are scanning.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess that they just want to try and out-farm him this game? Is that the plan? Like, it feels
but then
like...
Why pick Templar Assassin?
Yeah, I don't know. But TNC feeling like they're not comfortable yet. They want to try and wait till they get their next tier of items before they go for any type of big push. Gabby's going to clear through these Ancients now. And both teams just super content staying on their own side of the river. Like, they're over here, and then TNC just hanging out over on that side. My drawing skills are impeccable.
Smoke.
Walking up this direction. March there to break it. Breaks it on to everybody. Stampede used. Bounty Hunter found. Kill got. But bounties are going to be traded out there. TNC get 2 on the bottom half of the map.
Yeah, their smoke immediately popped as soon as KYXY was revealed, decided to stampede, and Bounty Hunter was the victim. So they can take this tier 1 tower. Unfortunately, they can't take Roche themselves. No one has a medallion on their team. They don't have any minus armor for Roche, and they're not really at a stage to do so. But that's a solid objective to take. And now KYXY has a Blink Dagger, so that's getting delivered on the courier. So even though Stampede is down, they still might use this reveal to get a surprise kill on someone.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Absolutely. See if they, I mean, again, there's no real sense of urgency right now, which I'm not sure who this favors. Because, like, yes, Gyrocopter, terrifying in the late game, along with the Ember Spirit, but, like, it does kind of, I always have that worry that, you know, you're going to get out of control on a TA and just let her farm and get whatever she wants, and then she can, like, instantly blow up one of your cores, right? And they have the lockdown to do that, too, with this Legion Commander. I don't know if
Yeah, but they have Pugna,
right?
And the Decrepify is going to be like so good. At most, you can hope that Tim's is going to get a bunch of kisses on the dual target and be able to penetrate the Decrepify. But no matter how big Templar Assassin gets, she can't force you to not be Decrepified.
Oh, no!
I guess if she gets a Nullifier, yeah, that's the only thing.
Oh my god. Dude, he's going Aghanims. What the fuck is Gabby doing?
What?
This guy's crazy.
All right, first let him get the BKB. Once he gets the point booster, then I will be ready to get a quick buy. That talk is cheap, all right? Quick buys are cheap.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But I'm glad you made me aware of it, though.
I actually love the Aghanims if he can get it off in time. Press the attack there to save. Armel, Spirit Siphon, dodge away. KP gonna be controlled. He came in to save his Death Prophet, but he ends up losing his own life, and now there's no save for Gabby. Blink away. That's enough to keep him alive. Now stealing Mortimer's Kisses. Hustla has it, and is holding on to it for the moment. There's the turnaround. Gobs of goo, of terrifying energy, and Mortimer gonna punish his master as they hands over the keys to the car to the poor old Rubik. Man, that was... I don't even know, man.
Armel is being so conservative with Exorcism. They were pushing the mid tier 1. Templar Assassin had the corruption on it, and he's just never using Exorcism.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird game right now. And I mean, Reality Rift are super happy with all of this. As Silence is there, jump forward, one shot, two shot, not there. Couldn't quite get it. They almost took down Alacrity there. Are they just going to go into the pit now? Is that the play?
I guess so. Stampede is down for a minute and a half. The scan does confirm that they're taking it, but I don't really know if they can challenge this. Mortimer Kisses is not up for another 50 seconds on the Rubik.
Breaking the Blink Dagger right now from KYXY. He can't get in. And now suddenly TNC show up to the fight. They jump forward. Gabby trying to bring down Nuts. Almost kills off Hustla. Doesn't quite manage to get both of them. But as the continued chase comes out, I mean, they just suddenly decided they wanted to play and took Roche, and now going to get an objective afterwards.
Well, this is a hell of an Exorcism. Yeah, they take a team fight, a tower, and an Aegis in the span of one Exorcism. And Gabby, with a very, very fortuitously timed double damage rune, also makes that happen in quick succession. So, wow, huge spike in the direction of a team that was kind of stagnating for TNC. The graph just like bounced up from like 3K in Reality Rift's favor to less than 1K.
Yeah, this is the turnaround that, you know, we knew kind of could happen with the Bounty Hunter again. Like,
yeah,
I think that's one of the other things that we really need to keep in mind, I guess, is that Bounty needs a little bit of time before he really comes online. Last game was a bit of an aberration because they had to sort of punish before the out came online. And now, you know, with just those two kills, they're back up to basically 0 again. And 20 minutes coming up. Outposts being held one apiece.
Good scan by March. He scans out right a little bit above him and confirms that they were going to contest this outpost. So it'll be a 1-1 split. March cannot get greedy, but now top tier 2 is going to get pushed. Will they be able to take it before backdoor comes back online? Yes.
It does look like it, yeah. So they'll finish that one off. And bottom lane, tower also taken. So trading off the other half of the map yet again. We're going to have to wait and see if there's any type of, you know, sort of trade-off as this game goes later. Alacrity's cutting this wave so that TNC can't get any more split push going.
I'll take that.
1-to-1 trades are favoring Reality Rift though, because they are an Aegis down right now. So I'm not really sure if Gabby's just going to use this as a farming Aegis. Wow. So, I mean, he still has the Ags in the quick fire.
Have you seen it
Still
yet?
has it there.
Have you messed around with it at all?
I haven't seen the buffed version because I know it got some buffs in 7.25B. I think the cooldown got reduced.
No, the travel time is lower as Snapfire is going to go down. So I was doing some theory craft and messing around with this. There's a couple cool things that you can do with it. One is that you can actually travel to other traps while you're melded. So it's like a save also where you can like meld, hide, transmute over to another trap. It pops obviously when you land on it, but it's a really it's a little bit better than it used to, where you can like now double meld out of trap if you see somebody coming forward towards it.
But double melding is always a meme. Yes. Every Templar assassin knows that you like double melds happen once every 50 games or something like that.
It's like a techie's trap almost now. Like where if you have like this trap, for instance, in the mid lane, right? And then you see somebody walking down a creep wave towards it, you can like time out when they're going to be there and then come out of it. So it makes it more possible than it used to be at the very least. I don't know if it's going to end up working or not, but I want to see it.
It all sounds great. I just my concern is who carries the game for TNC. Is that, are they capable of just assassinating their way to victory? Because if so, that's going to be a very flashy way to win.
I'm hoping that they are, because I want to see it, dude. If he buys the point booster right now, sell your wand. Let's go. Come on, Gabby. I believe in you.
He has an Imp Claw, which is a pretty great item for this strategy.
Yeah. No, it's super cool.
They're just not fighting.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it's great for Reality Rift. This is a team that they don't have the Aegis. Okay, Armel is TPing now. Because they can't lose 2 tier 2 towers for the price of 1.
No. They did get some good damage up there, though. Rather, on the mid one. Up on the high ground, Alacrity, Armel, hoof stomp onto him, immediately taken off. Lift afterwards, though, still control. Cookie gonna land. And there's the BKB, double Spirit Siphon, chase down. And the winner for KP. Hustler?
Oh, the Yules.
Oh, no, he's going to get caught now. Yeah, in some trouble. Hustler goes down, and another track gold.
And now Nuts is getting slowed by all these traps.
Did they get him too?
Look at the Skelly Boy trying to go. Run, Skelly Boy, run.
Oh, no.
Run, Skelly Boy.
Yeah, and they wait for the freaking track to come in afterwards and manage to get the just one shot afterwards.
Yeah. Gabby has 2.7k gold. You're theoretically kind of close to being able to siege high ground. Yeah. Do you want to risk it for the Aghanim's biscuit?
I'm down.
He did it. Oh, what a player.
Oh my god. What a freaking memer. This is going to be great. I'm not taking my camera off of Gabby. This is going to be very, very funny to watch. We'll see if it works. Alacrity in the meantime, making sure he doesn't get caught out. He pushes out the wave, then TP's out of there.
Is Pugna going to complete this TP? No, he does. Man, I'm so hype. So hype for this Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
In my power ranking, it was only viable as like a synth or the Blessing Ags.
Right.
I did not think it was viable as a build Ags, especially not this early on in the game.
Right. Dude, don't get your courier killed.
Courier.
All right, so he's got it.
All right. He's got it. He revealed it also. He's straight up in the lane showing,
over to the side,
I got my Ags.
They're going to lose the KP Legion Commander, so he goes down.
He has no trap. Okay, so what kind of traps? They're all peppered out throughout this eastern jungle. And then he has one inside of his own jungle.
Right.
And guess what? All of Dire are nowhere near that. Dire are about to siege high ground with Drew's Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, that's actually a much better Aghanim's. With the Satanic.
But Gabby's going in. They're just racing.
He blinks out, and he's able to force him back. All right, fine. Gabby, in the meantime, is going to TP back home. The cool thing about this is that he is going to be able to come back and split push really effectively. So I guess with Boots of Travel being gone, wait, he jumped over. He came back to his trap. They found KYXY, and nothing happened. Now the double trap break. Can he get him? It doesn't look like he's gonna get the bounty runes at least. Is this the like? He doesn't have a TP anymore. He's like, I don't need TPs anymore. I've got traps.
Well, how does he plan on getting back to his side of the map? Like, it's kind of like an Ember Spirit now. You need to place your quote remnant at safe locations. He has so you have 11 traps total. So 11 remnants effectively is what's happening here. Gabby is playing Templar Spirit.
That's pretty hype. I like it. Yeah, it's gonna be hard trying to follow his moves where he goes around the map, but maybe like putting a trap in the fountain is the play as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say that every single time you go back to base, you should always like park one there and then go in and out. Right now, he's like, there are a lot of green dots all around the map, and he's only using 10 charges. Okay, that's his 11th charge spent in the mid lane now, so he's all maxed out. Now, granted, these are also remnants that can die. Whenever Rubik gets a gem, if they ever get a gem, then all of a sudden this Aghanim Scepter becomes kind of useless.
Yeah, that is a problem. Granted, it's on a 5-second cooldown, so you could even like do one at the start of the fight to sort of get out of there. But I think, yeah, probably the like traps back at home and then traps out here to split push are going to be the two things that you look for from TNC would be my guess. But it's 2 seconds, right? Oh, it's only 1 second channel time. So yeah, it got buffed even more. It used to be the 2 second channel time.
Oh, so it got buffed back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
March goes down.
March goes down. Roche potential to respawn very late. It's a very late Roche respawn, so that kind of sucks for Reality Rift because I think they have a fair amount of map control right now. But then again, I don't know how you gauge map control against the Templar Assassin Ags.
Yeah, it's a weird one. The other thing is that if it just turns into like a straight 5-on-5 fight, like you have 4,200 gold that does basically nothing for TA, right? This has to be like all about maneuverability, outthinking your opponents, out like gaming them basically early on. Because I mean, this is, you know, the gyrocopter Zags is actually like super useful in the fight. As opposed to not useful at all.
As opposed to not useful at all. Yes, those are the two sides of the coin that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
It like Templar traps just push kind of inherently. That's why she kind of came back into the meta, and that's why the side trap talent, the side trap damage talent had to get nerfed so many times. It's because like you didn't need to show up. You just pop the trap and it would basically kill the wave.
Oh, they find the Rubik in the back lines. KYXY, they're not going to be able to get the Stampede out of there, in fact, as they got the cookie onto him. KP will die, but Gabby running down the Centaur finds that kill afterwards. Double buyback, as they know that Roche is capable of respawning. Chains only hits onto the Death Prophet as Gabby clears through another wave. Exorcism pop. Drew in some trouble. They got him caught. Do they have enough for the kill, though? The chase down coming in. The heal, not enough from that Death Prophet. And Gabby looking for more, blows Nuts up and chasing for another round.
No, teleport.
He missed it.
What? Did he cancel the channel?
No, he did nothing. Oh my god, it did.
But it's on cooldown.
It doesn't matter. They got the kill in the end. Triple kill for Armel. It's all because of the axe, baby. Oh, but look. Then
he went to Alacrity.
This is pretty cool. So she comes on back to try and take out Alacrity. Yeah, that's the problem. Throws out another one. Another couple of seconds. If she sees our Alacrity, she can go.
Wait, okay, so how did he mess up the one in the mid lane as they were trying to kill the Rubik?
He was channeling and he must have hit a button to stop the channeling. That's the only thing that I could think of.
I see.
But I'm not sure if that's what happened or not. But that's what it looked like happened.
Okay. Reasonable. Gotta buff it now. 7.26.
Right.
Psionic projection scepter ability, cast time reduced from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. I'm calling it now.
I'll be down.
Well, he doesn't have a trap in the pit, but he has a trap very close to the pit.
Yeah, she's coming back.
He's gonna channel it up. Nice.
See, that part of it is kind of cool, right? Because she can always be split pushing and then show up whenever you need to. And now, like, if Gabby needs to buy back, she can channel back to this trap in the pit too, in the midst of a fight.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
So 8,000 gold lead now as we are getting wildly ahead for TNC. They get the second Roche of this game. And feeling mighty good about themselves for the moment. Gabby, there's remnants just throwing the Ember all around the damn place, but he does back out of there.
Oh, Ember is ending up opting for the Shivas before the Aghanim Scepter. He did have the Aghanim Scepter queued up earlier, right?
Yes.
On the Ember?
Invisibility.
Yeah, so he's decided to stop off for the Shivas instead, which is more than warranted against the ludicrous amounts of physical damage that TNC have and the minimal amounts of magic damage that they have.
Where are we going to next for these guys? Paladin.
These guys? I only care about what Gabby's going to next.
That's fair. That's a pretty fair moment. I mean, I think that the Reality Rift draft, like, it still feels very strong to me if they can get to the late game.
Oh yeah. This is. I have minimal confidence in TNC right now. I think that if they win this, they're just the better team. I don't think they're winning because of any other factor other than, I would say, the bounty hunter. By virtue of the bounty hunter draft, they can kind of get away with this.
Right.
But aside from that, like, I am not really encouraged by, like, for Templar Assassin has to put boots in the backpack because she's the Aegis right now. She moves around so slowly. So even if she does manage to teleport on someone, I don't think she'll be able to stick on them very well.
Yeah, you got to get like a blink on or something. You're going a little bit robot-y on me right now as well. We'll see if that continues. We can like change the server or something, but it should be fine.
Oh yeah, I am lagging out kind of.
Oh no, no more lag.
It's fine.
Under a mango tree. That should be a love song, the Dota love song. Under a mango tree.
Mango.
Yeah. Or
under the tree.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking of. Yeah, from, Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
There you go. Well, Gabby jumped over onto the trap, very quickly forced Alacrity back into the base. See you later. And now, after Gabby gives away the Imp Claw, picks up the Daedalus for herself, so the crits are much bigger. It looks like they're trying to bait this out right now. See if they can get the TA to go onto these traps when Alacrity's there. And Gabby shows up to clear through the wave. They could try and jump here if they wanted, but BKB on Gabby, and they just don't have enough burst damage right now to kill her off.
Yeah, especially because, I mean, BKB Aegis, the rest of the team will be able to converge on your location very, very quickly. I will say, of all the heroes bootless, Templar Assassin is one of my favorite to watch bootless because it looks like her arms are just so heavy. Whenever she's walking around, she's like, "God damn these goddamn side blades!" Because Medusa just kind of like slithers around very slowly and looks funny. But this one, like, you don't see very many bipedal heroes walk around without boots.
It's like that exercise when you're like pulling ropes behind you and you're trying to run.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That
carrying
type of
a
thing.
truck behind you or something like that.
Exactly. TA's been hitting the gym. All right, jump forward again. Reality Rift just trying to... I mean, the thing that's so hard about this now is that it feels almost impossible to split push against this team. Like, the waves are always going to be pushing out, so Reality Rift just really can't leave their base unless they feel like they can take a fight, and right now, clearly, they don't want to fight into the Aegis.
Which they only need to worry about that for one more minute. And I don't really know if TNC can force them to fight. I don't think they can.
No, it's tough. But again, you just look over the past couple of minutes and the net worth lead is becoming more and more pronounced. So eventually, if Reality Rift aren't hitting any of their big timing soon, probably Drew BKB would be the next thing they'd be looking for. But besides that, like, you kind of do need to make a move once that Aegis does go down. Otherwise, you're just going to become further and further behind as the game goes on. So we'll see if they try and make that move once the BKB comes out for Gyrocopter, if they maybe even wait a little bit longer. But they got the Meld Bash now, 25 on TA.
They're smoking up. They got 30 seconds left on the Aegis.
God, these heroes are so hard to kill. They break the smoke there.
Bounty pops it.
Nicely done by March. Drew breaks it afterwards. They've got track.
Oh, he teleports in.
Oh my god, just
one
one-shots Hustla. Takes him down. The Mel Bash afterwards. The stun is going to land there onto TA, but still hanging onto that Aegis for another 7 seconds. Armel gets that Yule Scepter lift up. No silence for afterwards. Keepy barely going to be able to miss that duel. They go forward. Mel Bash going to connect. TA goes down. That was the Aegis expiring right as she died.
Oh,
she's not happy about it.
She can buy back and teleport to one of these traps.
Oh, that's such a... Oh, I don't know if they want to do that, though. Maybe they could. Maybe they're going to get a little bit antsy and they can think about turning here. It's really hard to take this fight. Can they kill her down? There's the cookie. Buyback's still available. TA's coming in. Where's the trap? She's over on the side.
Kill the
One shot
Pugna.
again, and got the spill damage onto KYXY. Blows him up afterwards. Gets the slow down onto Drew. And one more again.
2021.
Let's freaking go. Another kill. TNC, they make it happen.
Oh, she won again. But she can't see
right.
anyone.
The other trap that was inside there.
Oh!
Go decrypt last second. That was really close. Rubik's ceiling duel, but these buildings are starting to fall as 15,000 gold lead. Things feeling mighty, mighty good for TNC in game number 2. Already up 1 game over Reality Rift.
Gyro has buyback, and I don't think they can afford to lose 2 sets of Rex.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is, it's hard. And this is such a different bounty hunter game than the last one, where it wasn't kill focus. It was like hitting this timing and bounty, like making some extra space, scouting things out. Like, really impressive showing from TNC in both of these games. I feel like you gotta start banning bounty first phase against them.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, Gyro really does not want to have to buy back now. This is a sunken cost fallacy.
Yeah,
but he may lose all 3 Raxes.
I mean, he's going to. Buyback comes.
18 seconds.
Weren't able to find the silence, but they will lose KP, who's trying to just buy a little bit of space for his team to get out, and they do get out. So they lose tier 3 tower, double lanes of Rax. God damn. Who did they throw? Throw a creep.
Oh yeah, Tim's Zags, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that kind of sucks for Gyrocopter. He is going to be that much further away from completing his BKB, and which I don't think the BKB is going to make that big of a difference. But man, look at all these traps peppering the Dire base.
Oh my god!
I'm so hype. It's a shame that they weren't able to plant a ward. Have Dire just never bought a gem yet? Because I see a gem on Tim's, and I think that's his gem. Oh, it's March's gem. Yeah, so Dire just like have not bought a gem yet, and that seems catastrophically short-sighted against this Templar Assassin Ags.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think that this is like the type of item that like now if you're you have to clear these ones out. It did look like a couple of them gone away. I guess that was TA placing some more of her own and going over the limit.
I think she was popping them on the waves.
Got it. What is she building into next?
She just finished the MKB.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, so even more damage. Like if there's anybody that's alone here, like Hustler is just gonna get one shot. Like,
yeah. And she needed the accuracy against Gyro's Butterfly, and it's possible that KYXY may have eventually worked his way into a halberd, but instead he's going to be going for an Agadams as well on the Centaur.
Everybody getting ags.
So it's just everybody getting ags. Oh yeah, and then Gabby ended up synthing his own ags as well.
Right. Yeah. So what? I mean, honest assessment. How good do you think this TA ags is? As we might have to cut you off for the start of the final fight, possibly.
I'm not convinced. I mean, it's cool. She's basically playing like a Spectre,
right? Except
like a Spectre with like an even lower cooldown than Haunt, which is kind of what Spectre's own Ags is like.
Yeah.
So this is just kind of a better version of Spectre's Ags. But aside from that, I don't really see that much of a benefit over just the traps in general. Like the split pushing capabilities are already there with the trap. This smoke is about to time out.
Yep. Since she bought back in that last fight, would love to be able to get the Aegis here. Alacrity dropping the Remnant, TPing back home to deal with the waves coming out. They clear through those wards. KYXY just going to get clipped at the end of that Shiva's Guard coming out. Moving forward for this one. Drew nearby. Alacrity there as well. They've got the Lotus Orb. That's going to eventually bounce back and hit Drew. And at that point, I don't know what happens. Oh, Lotus stun comes out. Control and Exorcism. And Nuts is trying to keep him alive. But this is so much damage coming out from Armellas. The chase down is there. No more BKB available. Gabby going to TP in onto this one. Great throw out with the spit out coming from the, well, stun afterwards on KYX. But he's also just going to die. And you look over here towards the tier 4 towers, they're going down as Rubik is also going to drop as KP runs in, waiting for that to wear off and kills him as well. Yeah, this is looking like this is just about curtains here.
Yeah. He's oh no, he's TP scrolling back to base. Man, that's not what I wanted to see. I feel like there's been a real lack of true assassinations. The buyback was sick. I think the buyback was definitely the highlight of the Ags for sure.
Right.
But aside from that, I can't say that I was too impressed by it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a hater.
Well, it's fine. Everybody